Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Unveiled. Today we are so excited to be chatting with Ruth Chesson, who attends our Moolap Campus, and she is the mind behind these amazing dignity packs. We send these packs over to Kawangware, our partner church in Africa, and they have been sent to many other places as well, all over the world. And today we find out a little bit more about how the idea came about and exactly what is in these amazing packs. So sit back and relax and enjoy this time together. Welcome to the couch, Ruth. It's lovely to have you here today. And how are you going?
Good.
You good?
Doing well.
Very good. Now, it would be wonderful if you could just start today by maybe telling us a little bit about yourself. But before we do that, I think I know you and I knew of you before we'd even met, because Geelong is such a small place. You attend our Moolap Campus, and your daughters actually went to school with me at Belmont High.
Yes.
And on top
Joanne.
of that, on top of that, Laura.
Yes.
You're another one of your daughters.
My youngest one.
Yeah, we worked together at Clonard.
You did.
So it just shows you can't do anything around here. People are always watching.
They are.
So tell us a little bit more about yourself and tell us a little bit more about your family.
Well, I'm married to Andy and we have 4 beautiful daughters who have 4 lovely partners, and we have 7 grandchildren.
Ooh,
so we've got Zach, who's 18, Toby, Molly, Josh, Sam, Emily, and our littlest one is Evie Daphne Williams, who is turning 1 next week.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah.
My mum says to me constantly that if she knew that being a grandma was as good as what it was, she would have done that first.
Absolutely.
It's her favourite joke.
It's great.
And do you spoil your grandchildren?
Oh, I just love them to bits. Yep.
My mum buys, and both my mum and mother-in-law, 10 o'clock in the morning, I get photos, donuts, chocolate milks, all these things. Like, I would never have been allowed to have a donut.
No, I get in trouble for that.
A donut and a chocolate milk in the same day?
Yeah.
That's like school holiday, week 1 treat, week 2 treat.
Yep.
It's
fun.
I've got my eye on you, grandmas. I'll get my own back one day.
You will.
Well, we didn't bring you here today to talk about grandchildren, as wonderful as that is. But we're here today because we would really love to hear more about the dignity packs that you have been making for the last 6 to 7 years. I must admit, I was quite unaware of the need for dignity packs. I'm not sure if it's just the Western culture, but I maybe I'm just a little bit self-absorbed. I didn't look outside to actually realise the need for sanitary products in third world countries. And I know for me, you've shared some stories which have shown the lengths that young women will go to actually make sure that you know they're protected that time of the month. Today I thought it would be wonderful if you could first of all, share with us exactly what this little pack is. So if you'd even like to hold it up and then show us what's inside.
Okay, well, she gets a little bag like this with 2 ribbons that pull together, and the straps go over her back so that she can wear it wherever she goes. So nice little colourful bag. And then inside the bag, she gets 2 shields. So this is what a shield looks like. So the shield is like this, and inside of this there's a waterproof fabric that's got a shiny side which is waterproof, and so that stops her, stops it from leaking, right? So then she puts the little flannelette pads, so she gets 8 little flannelette pads, and she slips them in the pockets like that.
It's amazing.
And then these little clips will go under her undies, and she can go off to school and be safe.
Amazing.
So she gets 8 flannelette pads. So that's one piece she gets. Then she has a face washer. Hang on, sorry, I'll get the pads out. She gets a little transport bag, and this again has got the waterproof inside it so that she can carry her soiled ones home. She gets a face washer, just a normal face washer, because we teach her about hygiene. What else does she get? 2 pairs of undies, because believe it or not, a lot of girls don't have access to undies, and we know for a fact that if she's wearing a pair of undies, she's a lot less likely to be raped. So undies are really, really important. And she can't use the pack if she hasn't got her undies. Then she gets a little card like this, which shows her cycle on one side and shows her the care of the pack on the other side.
It's amazing, because for me, you know, like I said, I would just go to the supermarket and I'm able to access what I need with no trouble at all. But for young women living in third world countries, it's not as simple as that. So what do these packs actually mean to young women for their education, for their, you know, for future employment, for their future?
Well, a pack means so much to them, because at this point in time there are so many girls who have no access to any sanitary packs at all, and at the moment a lot of those girls are sitting in their rooms on dirt, on leaves, whatever, and they're unable to go to school. So most girls are falling out of school by year 9 because they miss so much school. In fact, this pack will allow her to get an extra term of school a year. That is how much she's missing out on at the moment. So it's huge, and we all know education is important, but in third world countries, education means either a life out of poverty or the fact that she stays in poverty if she's not educated. So it's huge.
And you've even mentioned to me too about the shame that, you know, for women in these third world countries, and bleeding, the shame that's actually attached to that as well.
Well, they don't understand. They haven't been educated. So we do use a little flip chart book which teaches her about her cycle, teaches her about hygiene, and it also touches on sex trafficking, which is really another subject that's really important for her to know about. So it's very, very important that she gets an opportunity that she wouldn't normally have.
Yeah, these are things that I think we really take for granted, and because, you know, we're not confronted with this information, even that statistic that missing a term if you said to me that my daughters were going to miss a term of education, I'd do anything to prevent that. Obviously, you know, in these countries, they're not able to just go and purchase these. They're not for sale.
They're very, what pads are available are extremely expensive and out of their reach. There's no way they can afford them. It's not even an option in most of the slums. It's not even an option for them. They're so used to seeing their families sit in bedrooms. That's what they do. And there's a lot of shame attached to their periods. They don't understand why they bleed. They don't understand their cycles. It's really quite confronting.
So how did this all come about? Because I think it's amazing and I love it, and this is why we're talking about it, because we need to know that this is happening. You know, we are God's creation, and the world, you know, everything that's going on around us, we're called to love and be involved. So how did this start for you?
Well, it started when I bought a new sewing machine, and that particular week, it was a little bit of an extravagant one, and then that particular week I went to a women's conference at our Moolap church, and a group from the Salvation Army Church came and talked about these dignity packs and how their church was making them and sending them out to third world, and I was blown away, and I was really touched by it. Now, at that particular time, my husband was suffering with severe mental illness, and both of us had lost our jobs as a result of that. So I couldn't see how I could be involved in it, you know, but it really touched me. So that particular week, my daughter, who's an aid worker in Africa, also contacted her father and said, Dad, I've got 14 double orphan children at the moment, and I've managed to get funding for them to go to school, and I've managed to get a home for them to live in, but I've just discovered every month when they've got their period, they're sitting in their rooms, they've got nothing. Can you get Mum to whip up something that can help them go to school? So I knew immediately what I had to do.
Yeah.
So off we went. I'm part of a very strong little Bible study group who are very supportive, and we all got together, and that's how it was birthed.
Wow. How's the timing of that, though?
Yeah, I know.
You know, God spoke to you at that women's conference, and then from there, you know, the way it all weaves together. And now, how many dignity packs
We've sent out over 1,000, and we send them out all over the world. You know, they've gone to Thailand, and they've gone to Uganda, they've gone to Fiji, they've gone to Africa, all over the place.
Wow.
So
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
The last one was last week. We sent 125 to Ghana. So even in a pandemic, we're still managing to get packs out.
So how did that come about?
Well, it came about from a friend who saw something on a Surf Coast page saying that there was some room in a shipping container.
Wow.
So, and as it turned out, the shipping container was going out by the girl from Torquay who actually introduced me to the packs. And so she knew about the packs and was so excited. So it's gone out to 3 orphanages in Ghana.
Yeah,
so,
120 young women will be able to access school an extra term every year. Just because of a little notice. And then someone saw that, got in contact with you, and...
So you can imagine the difference that will have over of that group over 3 to 5 years. The pack will last.
Well, that was what I was going to ask. How long? So if a young woman receives this pack, what does that look like for her?
We would like to think that this pack will get her through her education. That's our aim. So we do use good quality fabrics for the shields, and so that we make sure that this will last. So this is quilter's cotton fabric here, because we want it to last. You know, we want it to see her through her time.
Amazing. I know some women watching this will know that we have a relationship with Kawangware, and we brought a group of women over to our conference a couple of years ago, and we're hoping, you know, once restrictions lift, to continue that relationship. We want to be able to see women coming to our conference every second year, and we'll be sending women to Kawangware as well. And part of that program includes making sure every single year these packs are sent over. So can you share with us, I know last time when the women from Kawangware were here, they took some home, and Salome, one of the women, just shared the most amazing story with you of you know, what the impact that they were going to have. Can you share with us that experience?
Well, we tried to explain to them, would they like some dignity packs? What we were unaware of, they had no idea what we were talking about, and it's actually not a subject that they even discuss. Periods is not something they even talk about. So I took a whole lot of packs to one of our prayer meetings and had them all set out. And when the ladies saw them, in particular Salome, she cried and she hugged me, and she just said, thank you for giving us permission to talk about this.
Yeah, wow.
Because in their culture, it was something they didn't talk about. And then they became very excited, and they said, look, we're going to give these to the grade 6 class, because then they'll never know what it is to miss a day's school. So that's what they did. They filled their cases with 40 packs of the packs, and they gave them to the grade 6 class.
And this is at the school that One Hope is...
Our Kawangware school.
Yeah.
This is our Kawangware school.
Yeah.
So now I'm getting pictures of the teachers standing up with this and showing it to the girls and actually teaching them about their cycle. They've now got enough confidence to know that this is something that they can teach the girls. So you can imagine every girl that goes home is now empowered to be able to teach her family the truth about her period. There's a lot of myths out there about their periods, and you know, I've heard Joanne talk about girls who won't sit on a rock because it's bad luck, and they run through doorways because apparently if you don't run through a doorway, your period will last longer and the flow will be heavier. So the only way that we can break down these myths and allow girls to not feel shameful with their period and embarrassed by it is to educate them. So this pack is not just going to give her this resource that she needs, but it's also going to educate her and educate the future generations.
Absolutely. And I know we were able to receive an offering at the conference, which meant we were able to purchase sewing machines for women in Kawangware. And how amazing would it be to think that in the years to come, they were making and, distributing these themselves in their community.
Well, that's my prayer for the future. Very, very much so. I would love to see them with a little enterprise going of making their own. We're talking third world here, and it doesn't work like first world.
Yes.
And those things take a long, long time, but we are slowly building up that relationship, and my prayer is that one day we will be able to see them making these packs and being able to have a little enterprise going over there.
Yeah, the young women making them themselves or something like that.
You can imagine the money involved. I mean, one roll of this PUL, one roll of this costs $300 here. So, and you can't make them without that.
Yeah,
so there's going to be a big cost involved in getting them started, but it's not impossible.
All things are possible.
We know that.
God.
Yep.
Well, that was actually one of my questions for you. How do you put the packs together? Is there a group of women? Do you have a team of sewers? How do you even get a roll that costs $300? Well, how does it all come to this beautiful package that's packed together with a bow?
Well, it's been quite amazing, really, because as I said, we started off just by filling a need in Africa. One day. That's really how it all started. God's just provided. People have bought us fabric. People have given me donations. One of the local legal firms here decided not to do their KKs one year, and they gave us $500 as a donation instead of giving each other KKs presents. And they've continually supported our sewing days. So we have donations like that. Look, I just say anybody who wants to be involved, it's not just the sewing, it's the undies, it's the face washes, it's the hotel soaps. We do put a little soap in each pack. This is to smell nice, but it's also to teach her the practical side of washing herself too. So collect your hotel soaps for me.
And I know when we were speaking, again, it's not knowing, and that's why we wanted to have this conversation today, because this is happening, but so many people don't know that it is happening and how they can help. And we had a chat on the phone and we started discussing the need to use recycled sheets and pillowcases, and recently I was about to throw a whole lot out, I thought, well, what else am I going to do with them? What do you do with leftover sheets and pillowcases and doona covers? And from that, their donations.
Perfect.
And
it can be a nice sheet, it can be a doona cover, doesn't have to be brand new fabric for this one.
Absolutely. So I think what we'll make sure that we do is communicate with anyone that wants to get involved, different ways and different things that might be needed to, and obviously that's one thing, but sewers as well.
Yes, well, what we do is we really have sewing days compared, just depending on the demand of how many packs we have going out. I try and keep 100 packs all the time ready to go. Now, 100 packs, that's 200 undies. That's 100 face washes. That's 200 shields. That's a lot of pads. So it does take a lot of work to get these put together. It takes about 4 to 5 hours to do one pack. In sewing time. So we've got sewers now that have started up little groups. So we've got groups in Donald, we've got groups in Ballarat, I'm about to start a group in the Gold Coast.
Wow.
So from what we're doing, we're now finding that people are happy to start up a little group in their own home. Some sewers just like to do it in their own time and by themselves. So there's lots of options.
Yeah.
We don't have a set sewing day because my husband does have a mental illness. It's not possible for us to have a weekly or a fortnightly sewing day, but I just put out the word when we need a sewing day and we get together. And you can come for as little as you like or as long as you like.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And get involved.
Yeah, and even just as you're talking now, you keep on saying she, because I feel like each bag, is already going to someone, and there's that level of identifying with that person. Is there something that you would like to share in regards to that? This isn't just going to a girl overseas in a third world country. It's so much more than that.
Yeah, well, I've got a strong belief that God has put me in a position now to make it, and this group, in a position to make each girl valued.
Yeah.
That she's important. She, I might not be able to go out and educate her, and I mightn't be able to give her what I'd love to be able to give her in life. But if I can give her a pack that can help her to be valued and to know that it's not shameful for her to bleed, and if I can give her the means to go to school and give her best, I can't think of a better gift.
I know, amazing.
I can't think of a better gift.
Yeah, and to know that that is your heart means that God will provide.
Yeah,
he will
he
provide the money, He will provide the sewers, He will provide everything that is needed to continue to make this happen.
Yes.
And I think as a church, because we have a relationship with Kawangware already, what an amazing opportunity we have to commit to saying we want every woman to have one of these. And I know, I'm not sure if I've mentioned already, but sisters and mothers are actually wanting to take it from the younger ones.
Yeah, well, Salome, the last time I spoke with her, she said that there is a bit of a problem occurring, and that is that over there, age is hierarchy very much. And so what was happening, the girls were taking their packs home, but the bigger sisters and the mothers were pinching the packs, because at the end of the day they all need one.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you love to give them all the pack?
Yeah.
My heart goes out and I just want to give them all a pack. So that has become a bit of a problem, and our aim is to just do what we can for every girl and make a difference where we can.
Yeah, and maybe when things return to normal a little bit more, and we know that this relationship with Kawangware will be such
ongoing.
it's just last such a long time, we can really make that an aim of ours and make sure that knowing that they're coming here and we're going there in the future to really make sure that the community are able to receive as many packs as possible.
Yes, absolutely. And look, if you're going out to a third world country, please get in touch with me, because I'll fill your bags very quickly with packs, and we'll find a need for it over there. So that would be great.
Well, thank you so much for sharing and educating us today on what these packs are. And I'm going to make sure that anyone that's watching this has the ability to reach out to you or reach out to us, and we can give them the information that they need. But I just want to say thank you on behalf of One Hope for what you're doing, because as a woman, this is important. And you listening and being obedient to God's calling to do something has impacted lives in ways that you will never know. So I honour you, Ruth, for your obedience in that. I encourage you to keep on going, and I know that God will bless you and your family as you continue to do what He calls you. So thanks for being part of Unveiled today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How encouraging has it been today to hear Ruth's story? Her story of how God called her to make a difference in developing countries. We also have an opportunity to sow into what Ruth is doing. No pun intended there, sow into what Ruth is doing. But we can get involved, and there's a number of things that we can do. There's the tangible purchasing of things like underwear and materials and even ribbon for the gorgeous bags. And we'll provide you with a list of exactly what you can contribute. But let's commit to praying as well. These bags are going to young women, our sisters in Christ. So let's pray that these bags end up in the right hands, and that these women, their lives are changed, not only through the Dignity Pack themselves, but that God would touch their lives through the packs. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we just pray that you have an awesome week as well. God bless.